Hi guys, Deuces here back with another video. I am recording this on the 1st of January 2021. So Happy New Year's to all you guys out there. I don't know when this video is going to come up, so it might be a little bit later than the beginning of the year. But regardless, Happy New Year. We got through 2020. It was a rough year. I don't think anyone will disagree with that, but we're in the new year now and hopefully it'll be better than the last. So previously I did put out my top 10 Star Wars: The Black Series for 2020. It's the end of the year, start of the new year, so we're doing more top 10s, of course. And this is my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2020. Marvel Legends has kind of been a line where I'm trying to ease out of it a little bit. I don't want to put so much money into the line anymore, so I'm trying to kind of cut off getting just random characters and really trying to focus on just absolutely characters I absolutely have to have from the Marvel Legend line. But it was so hard last year in 2020. So much good stuff came out. We got awesome comic book stuff. We got awesome movie stuff, not even MCU stuff, but also Fox stuff, which is crazy. I didn't think we'd get anything good from the Fox stuff anytime soon, so that was absolutely awesome. But here in front of you, these are kind of my honorable mentions, and one figure I'm actually missing from here, I forgot to go grab, was the Taskmaster figure from the Black Widow movie that was supposed to come out but didn't. That figure is really awesome. It's probably one of the best releases this year. It's just because the movie hasn't come out, I don't have a super huge attachment to that version of the character. So, but it's a really good figure, and actually kind of hard to believe that it even came out this year because I got it in like March. But anyways, yeah, right here in front of you is a few honorable mentions. There's still many other great figures I got. I didn't want to fill up the whole video with a bunch of stuff, but we have the Vulture there on the side from the Demo Goblin Bath Wave, I believe. Really great figure. Absolutely love the head sculpt on that. That is exactly what I think of when I think of the Vulture, and that release helped me round off my Marvel Legends or 6-inch scale Sinister Six, which was really great. The Winter Soldier is really cool. Not perfect by any means, and not my absolutely favorite look for him, but he still looks really cool. And I'm happy to have a comic version of Winter Soldier in the collection. The Deadly Origins Black Widow. It's kind of funny. Before this year, I had 0 Black Widows, and then after this year, I had 3. They're all really good, but I decided to showcase the Deadly Origins one. It's probably my favorite out of the 3. It has my favorite head sculpt, my favorite array of accessories. Probably my favorite body too, to be honest. So that one's really cool. And in the back there is a couple of re-released or slightly changed Build-A-Figures that were released single carded. I didn't want to include them in the list because I didn't think it was fair to other stuff that was more new. The Kingpin there though, absolutely so happy that got released. I really wanted the Bath, but did not want that wave that came in at all. It has a little bit of remold with, instead of the tie, it's got the little scarf thing. Really like that Kingpin, very cool. And then that Monster Venom Bath, or with the Eddie Brock paint, absolutely love that. I really liked I didn't have the original Monster Venom Bath. I always wanted it, but again, it was a wave I really didn't want to get any of the figures from. But now I'm super happy they put it in my preferred look for him, being the Eddie Brock version of the symbiote, and he even has the blue shading and everything. That thing is really cool. One of my favorite Venoms, might be my favorite Venom. I'm not sure yet. There's one more that you'll probably see in the list. Spoiler alert, you can probably guess which one it is. But yeah, those are kind of my honorable mentions. So let's get on to the actual list now. So at number 10, we have a figure that I got very recently, like Christmas Day, and that honestly really, really surprised me. And it is the Gamerverse Atmosphere Armor Iron Man from the Joe Fixit Bath Wave, which might have been the last Build-A-Figure wave for 2020. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, I try not to buy a ton of Iron Man variants. I could easily spend way too much money getting way too many versions of Iron Man. But this is a version of Iron Man I was really interested in because I really like the bulky design of the suit with the larger torso armor and calf armor and whatnot. I absolutely love the colors on this. This is just a repaint of the Star Boost armor, which I never bothered in getting because I didn't like how that looked. But this one, with a different coat of paint, I think it looks so much cooler. The shiny blue with the shiny gunmetal and silver altogether looks super good. I think he looks amazing, honestly. One of the best looking Iron Man figures in Legends, I think. Came with an unhelmeted Tony Stark head with face print, which I think looks pretty good personally. I know some people don't like it. Some people do. It's basically down to what you like your Tony Starks to look like. I really like it. I haven't even played the game, so I don't really have any attachment to this armor besides it looks really cool. Poses pretty well too, all considered. That it's kind of bulky. The only problem I really have with the posability is the shoulders. Everything else, you know, this is just one of those figures where I got it, opened it up, and I just had a blast posing it. That's not really that good of a pose, and I'm kind of just messing around. But yeah, it's a really cool one. I really like it. That's all I gotta say. So on to number 9. So at number 9, we actually have a wave mate of the Iron Man figure, which I didn't even realize until I just started recording this video. It is Kang the Conqueror, and I know this guy's probably going to be higher on a lot of people's lists. I know a lot of people have been wanting a new Kang for a long time. There was one years ago, part of like some of the first waves of Hasbro stuff, and I think that was being reused from Toy Biz era figures. I never owned that, and I can't say I'm super familiar with Kang. I know who he is. I know he's a major Avengers villain. But my knowledge of him basically comes from, I think, one storyline I read in the comics, and everything else is just from the animated series. But I always liked when he appeared in the animated series. He's one of the more cooler villains to show up in those. And yeah, he's a pretty cool figure. He's all new sculpt, which you don't always see with Marvel Legends all the time. There's some interesting engineering with like this whole thing being like a rubber overlay on the top part here. A decent amount of accessories. He's got his like little sci-fi gun and whatnot. I think the head sculpt is awesome. He poses pretty well considering his outfit, and I really like just kind of like the look of superiority you can get him in. I think it looks really cool. It would have been cool if you get a few more futuristic looking weapons with him, but aside from that, I think he's really solid, and he is my number 9 pick. Now going on to number 8. And at number 8 is Doctor Doom, and I know this could be considered a 2019 release. Some people were able to get their hands on this wave in late 2019, and whether it was supposed to be a 2019 or 2020 release, I'm not entirely sure. But I think most people didn't get theirs until 2020. I didn't get mine until around the end of January 2020. So we're counting as a 2020 release, and it's really cool. I wanted a good Doctor Doom figure in the collection for a while. I've had the Marvel Select for years now at this point, and it's just not that good. And this is so much better. I thought it would end up being higher on my list, but there are just so many other Marvel Legends figures I just had a lot more fun with than this one. But this guy looks absolutely beautiful. The sculpt and paint is really good. They even painted the straps on the armor, and they sculpted the chainmail underneath the plate armor. Love the head sculpt. I do actually prefer the modern look to it. I just like the shape of the hood better, the shape of the mask better. But both head sculpts, they comes with the classic one as well. That looks really good as well. He has his gun, a few hand options. It would have been nice if he came with some of these effect parts, but I have extras, so I just gave it to them. Posability is pretty good. It's not anything crazy amazing, but it's still pretty decent. Yeah, very cool figure. It's just high on the list for me because at the end of the day, it looks really good, but I just don't ever really... I rarely feel the need to grab it off the shelf and mess with it. It's not one of those figures where I'm kind of excited to mess with it. I just kind of pick it up or pose it, and it goes on the shelf for a long time, and I never touch it again. But I still love having it. It looks amazing. So that was number 8. Moving on to number 7. And at number 7, we have one of the Legendary Riders or Ultimate Riders sets. I can't remember what they call it. But it is the Punisher one with the black bike with the high handlebars. And with this one, the bike, don't care much about the bike. It's pretty plain. It's a reuse of the bike they've used multiple times now. But this Punisher figure is really good. I think it's the best Punisher figure that Hasbro's put out yet. It's my personal favorite Punisher figure in the collection. I have 2 other Punishers. The 2018... I don't know if it's 2018. I think it's like 2016 or 2017 classic Punisher. And then I have the more recent, I think 2019 80 Years Punisher. And I think this one's just so much better. I absolutely love the head sculpt. It comes with 2. He's got a normal angry looking one, and he's got this gritty teeth one with all the cuts and bruises and everything, which I think look fantastic. And I love how he's kind of got that more older look. A lot of the Punisher figures they put out, he kind of has a more younger, like he's in his late 20s sort of look. But this one looks more like he's in his 40s, which I really like a lot. The body is a bit of reuse from Luke Cage, but I think it works really well. Punisher, Frank Castle's supposed to be really big, so I think this works really well. Posability is good. He's got some new arms with the pinless tech, which is awesome. The array of accessories is really awesome. He actually has realistic guns with an actual realistic looking Uzi, and he's got the double-barreled sawn-off shotgun, which you can put effect parts in, which is a really cool. This is just a really awesome Punisher. If you're going to get just one Punisher, I would definitely recommend this one. That is number 7. Now moving to number 6. And number 6, we have one of the Fox movie figures, and it is Wolverine. This is the Amazon exclusive tank top one. And this is just an amazing figure, and in some ways, all these Fox figures have kind of been a dream come true. I'm not saying they're the best movies ever, but the Fox X-Men films are some of my personal favorite superhero films. I grew up with them, and Hugh Jackman has been he's been a symbol for Wolverine for over a decade at this point. So I've, of course, wanted a figure of him for a long time, wanted a good figure of him, and this is a good figure of him. This delivers very much. We've got great, I believe, all new sculpting. The paint detail, for the most part, is really good. He's got the pinless tech in the arms again, which is awesome. I love the claws. He comes with bone claws and the metal claws, and they're not all flimsy. They actually stay in place and look really good. He's got the 2 head sculpts. I got the angry gritty teeth one on. I think the likeness is pretty decent. Maybe not 100%, but you can definitely tell this is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which is super cool. The posability on this guy is amazing as well. It's a really fun figure that I enjoyed a lot more than I thought it was. When I got this figure, I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, cool, Hugh Jackman figure, put him on the shelf, commemorate my love for the character, and that's it. But no, I had a lot of fun posing this guy. It's a really cool figure. So yeah, that's number 6. Now we're moving on to the top 5. And at number 5, we've got a big one. It is the Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is one of those figures I kept forgetting came out this year because I got it in like March or April, and it seems like that's been so far away now. But this is an amazing set. It's probably my favorite Legendary Rider set they've ever made so far. The bike is amazing. It's big. It's got a bunch of crazy stuff going on, like this effect. This big orb here in the front, and the clear piece there, and the fire effect on the jet booster. These big exhaust pipes. It just looks so cool. It has a lot of shelf presence. And you get the clear display stand, which is also really cool. And then the Cosmic Ghost Rider figure itself is also really awesome. Uses a little bit of that Udon Taskmaster. I think it uses the legs, which I think is perfectly fine. He's a fully armored character, and these are fully armored legs. But the new sculpting here is great. The flaming head, you can remove the little glass dome there, which is really cool. Well, it's not made of glass, it's plastic, but you know what I mean. The spiky shoulder pads, the Punisher logo kind of put into the armor, torso armor there is awesome. He's got a bit of that cosmic stuff going on as well. Posability is really good. Accessories are great too. He's got the little chain whip thing that came with the first Legendary Riders Ghost Rider, and he also comes with these sci-fi looking guns with these fire effects and go on them, and you can store the guns on the bike, which I think is just absolutely awesome. There's a ton. There's a ton of play value with this figure, a lot to enjoy. Even I'm not even super familiar with this version of the character of Ghost Rider / Punisher. I just think mixing the two together, such a cool and fun idea, and it makes for an awesome figure. Now moving on to number 4. And at number 4, we have the Magneto figure from the 2-pack with Charles from the Fox films. And yeah, this is a really good figure. Again, love those films. Days of Future Past is my favorite X-Men film, and honestly one of my favorite superhero films. I absolutely love Michael Fassbender in the role of the younger Magneto, and this is my favorite film look for Magneto that they've done so far, or probably will do anytime soon. And the figure is really well done. Great articulation, pretty good accessories. Got a couple hand options. Got a ton of different heads. You have helmeted and unhelmeted Michael Fassbender and helmeted and unhelmeted Ian McKellen, which doesn't really make sense on this body, but I'm happy they included them anyways, and all the sculpts and prints for the most part are pretty damn good. And a lot of fun to pose in this guy. Absolutely happy to have this guy in the collection. Now moving on to number 3. And at number 3, we have the movie Venom. And man, this figure is so good. Even if you don't like the film, which I actually do like the film. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I do actually like it. I enjoyed it when I watched it. Maybe I have to watch it again. But either way, I thought Venom, when he was actually looking like this as Venom, was badass in that film. And this figure is amazing. You have awesome sculpt, Great paint where the paint is actually there for the most part. You get a couple sets of hands, you get 2 head sculpts, the smiling one, and you get the open mouth with the tongue, which is great for options. Posability is absolutely amazing. You've got that double joint in the torso there, you got the ball joint as well as the hinge there, and the joints move so fluidly and smoothly. It's such a joy to pose. It looks amazing. Super solid figure. One of the best from this year, in my opinion. All right, moving on to number 2. And at number 2, we have the movie Deadpool. Super close to making it number 1. But there are a few things that keep it back a little bit for me personally. But this, again, a figure, a dream come true figure kind of thing. I've wanted a figure of Deadpool from the film since the first one came out. So it's been 4 years in the making, but we finally got one. And they did a really, really good job. Excellent sculpting, great paint for the most part. Great articulation, tons of accessories. You get a bunch of hands, you get his swords, you get the knife. Unfortunately, they give you those stupid space pistols, but you can actually kind of heat up and cut out the actual Desert Eagles from the holsters, and then they just work as normal accessories, which you shouldn't have to do. That's one of the points against it. You shouldn't have to do that, especially when other figures from the same movie came with realistic guns. Why didn't Deadpool? It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. Amazing figure. It's Deadpool from the films. It's awesome. Now moving on to my number 1 Marvel Legends of this year. And my number 1 Marvel Legend for this year is the Deluxe War Machine. And this thing is awesome. This is everything I want from a War Machine figure. War Machine is one of my favorite characters, and I think the Deluxe treatment was such a good call for them. He's a bit bigger. I love the engineering with the shoulders pads, how they move with the rotation of the arm. I think that's really good. Posability in general is great. He looks amazing. I love this style for the armor. He's got his weapons on him, which can articulate on the shoulders. He has an unhelmeted roadie head, which is classic and looks awesome. And he comes with all these awesome blast effect parts and multiple options. He's got the blast off effects that can go on the feet. So much stuff. Looks so amazing. Really easy, really awesome to pose. It's my favorite of the year, and I actually like this figure more than the Rebel Tech figure that came out, or the Amazing Yamaguchi Rebel Tech figure that came out this year. That's how much I like this figure. Yeah, it's awesome, and there's not really too much else to say. So putting him back here with the rest, and he doesn't really want to stand. There we go. Yeah, it's been an awesome year for Marvel Legends, I will admit. Lots of amazing figures came out this year. These are the top 10 for me personally, and please note this is my personal preferences. This is not an objective list at all, completely subjective. So you're definitely going to have different choices. I'd love to hear them in the comments below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and bearing with me for all this time. I will hopefully see you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.